Da Nang was a really fire spot. When I first went there, I loved it. But when I lived there, I was out there for 7 months. I quickly realized that it wasn't the place for me long term. While I was living out there, I stayed in two different places. I stayed on the city side with the locals. I lived in a 3-bedroom house, and then I stayed on the tourist side near the beach in a studio apartment. And in both places, I really couldn't find that peace of mind that I was looking for. Those clear blue skies that you guys see, the beach, you're not gonna have access to that a full 365 days. You will get a lot of heavy rain. You will get some areas that flood, and you're gonna deal with mold. Like, mold is super common out there. A lot of people, they move to the day and they're like, oh, I don't want no mold. I don't want a place with mold in it. Sorry to break it to you, but mold is very common and you will run into that problem. So if that is something that you are not trying to deal with whatsoever, don't move there long term. And don't go during rain season, because that's when you will really get exposed to mold. Noise too, you really can't avoid that in Da Nang. You're gonna see and hear a lot of construction because they're building on literally every block. Honking, bikes, you're gonna hear that 24/7. Bun Bao, you're gonna hear him all day, every day, depending on where you live at, especially if you live on the beach side and tourist areas, you're gonna hear him as much as you hear the honking. Karaoke, roosters, noise is just something you cannot get around in Da Nang, Vietnam. So if you like very, very, very quietness, like you don't really want to deal with none of that, you're gonna have to move really further away from the city. But it's still peaceful, but some people just don't want to deal with any noise or very minimal noise. I don't suggest Da Nang because you just cannot get around it. The social scene and all of that, it's hit or miss. It really depends on you as a person, how outgoing you are, if you're willing to join these expat groups and get in communities and just, you ready to just be out and about and really connect. But for me, I really didn't gain that social connection. I really felt isolated most of the time I was there. Even when I did go out, you know, I didn't feel that connection. I would meet certain people and it would just be like, we meet and then that's it, you know? There's really nothing after that. So yeah, with the social scene, it really depends on you as a person and how you are when you're meeting new expats. The hospitality, I felt like always wasn't 100%. Some people will be extremely nice. You'll go into certain establishments, people want to help you. People will do the most to just give you great service. But that wasn't the case all the time. Sometimes I'll go into places, I'll try to buy certain things, or if I can't find things that I'm looking for, I would ask for suggestions on places I could find it from. A lot of the times I would get just a straight up, no, I don't know. Like, they ain't really gonna do much to help you. And I don't know if it could be a language barrier thing, or I don't know if it's just people truly don't really care. Like, if they don't got it, you ain't buying it from them, they not gonna help you. Meanwhile, in other places you go to, you look for something, if a person knows where you can find that product that they don't have, they will tell you. But in Vietnam, I hardly ever got that. So I just feel like the hospitality wasn't really there all the time when it came to being a foreigner and dealing with the locals there in Da Nang. The food was cool, but it wasn't much variety. Like, if there was a good restaurant, that was that one good spot. But if I'm comparing it to like a bigger city where you can, let's just say for instance, you're looking for Chinese food. If you're in a big city, there's gonna be like 50 different Chinese restaurants in that one area or neighborhood. Or if you like Mexican food. You're gonna find a whole bunch of different Mexican restaurants, American food, Japanese food, Indian food. Like, you're gonna have a lot of options. And I felt like in Da Nang, they had like a strip in the Antong area where you had a bunch of international dishes and some local Vietnamese restaurants, but it wasn't much variety. Like, I feel like you can literally try out all those foods within a couple of days and being in Da Nang, and then after that, that stuff just becomes, normal. So the food was cool. I'm not saying it was terrible, but it's not much variety. It's definitely not much variety. So long term, if you don't really cook that much, you will probably get tired of eating the same restaurants or places after a while because you ain't got really much to choose. And the beach is beautiful. It's not toxic. You're not gonna walk out at 8 p.m. and see prostitutes at the beach. Like, if you very family oriented and you just, you don't want all the toxic, mixy stuff that goes on, you won't get that there. It's very peaceful, very relaxing. If that's what you want, Da Nang will be perfect. $1,000 can actually last you 30 days. Honestly, less than that. Food is extremely cheap, especially if you eat local food. Getting around is extremely cheap because you necessarily don't really need to take Grab. If you're willing to learn how to ride a bike, you're good. $70 to $80 a month will get you all throughout the city. And Da Nang is not that big. It honestly takes 15 minutes to get from one side to the other. So it's perfect. Like, if you're on a budget, Da Nang is perfect. I ain't saying come over there with $300 to your name, but if you generating some income, you making about around 1,000 USD, you'll be good. You'll be good. That ain't really gonna work in these other countries in Southeast Asia, but in Da Nang, it will definitely work if you know how to budget your money. If you are thinking about moving to Da Nang, Vietnam, let me know in the comments and I'll tell you if it is a good fit for you. I was there 7 months and it wasn't for me. So I'm now back in Bangkok, Thailand. And since I've been back, I honestly have been happy. Like I said, Da Nang is a beautiful city. I just think it was the best for me when I stayed for a short period of time.